Good. So the goal of our meeting is to inform you and gain future inhabitants, investors, and supporters, because as you know, we found the land and you want to develop the eco-village together with more people. Yeah, I'm already said we're going to have a brief introduction. About our group, our vision, values, and then Jana is going to talk about our new land. We will go more into depth into that, and Nini will talk about economic side and how you can join. So we have been meeting for already 5 years. We are plus minus 10 Georgian and international people. People have been coming and going, but like the around 5 of us have stayed all this time. And this is, I think, already a good achievement. We want to settle together with a bigger group on the land. The concept of eco-village is international concept. It works and it's sustainable, and we want to create an innovative living, learning, and working space for around 10 to 30 or more households that will live on the land and work on the land and preserve the environment. The land will be owned by its inhabitants and the community members, and the decision-making will be participatory. We will not live together on one land. Each inhabitant is going to have access to a plot of land where they can build a house as a family or do a small business. There will be co-housing as well, if that is desired. And some enterprises, farms, and infrastructures, and so the decision making will be communal, and the part of the land will be communal. And yeah, we all do that in order to preserve the environment and create community as an alternative to the multiple crises that the world is facing at the moment. This is what you can see on the screen is our vision. We want to be a voluntary, self-organized, non-hierarchical, inclusive community thriving in mutual respect and support. We are co-learning and implementing approaches to regenerative ecology and culture. And being interconnected with the wider community, we desire to create a sustainable society. So we don't want to go off-grid or be very apart from the outer society. We really want to cooperate also with the wider society and co-influence each other and co-learn with Georgia and abroad. A quick introduction of our members. Maybe we can do that ourselves. So I can start as I'm already talking. I'm Anna. I'm originally from the Netherlands, but I'm home now in Georgia. And I work as a gender and sustainable development specialist in an NGO, Women Engage for a Common Future. Yeah, maybe we can go round. Almost all of us are here. Jana, do you also want to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Jana. I'm part of the Ecovillage group since like 1.5 years. I'm a pedagogic, art therapist, and a yoga teacher from Germany, but already living for around about 7 years in Georgia. Yeah, I'm really curious and excited to be part of the next steps in the Ecovillage. So, what is about Georgi? You are here, I guess. Would you like to introduce?
Yeah, with pleasure. Very nice to meet you all. I think it's one of the crowdest meetings. So basically, I'm from Georgia, and almost from the beginning of this core group who support the idea of eco-villages. Right now, I'm working on my thesis, which is about sustainable tourism and all connections with the sustainability that comes with the local communities and comes with the local neighborhoods in the cities, different cities. So yeah, basically it's my very utopic, but now getting really realistic idea to be a part of the first eco-village in Georgia with the vision that we already showed in the previous slides. Yeah, really happy to see you all. And yeah, maybe Nini could continue presenting herself. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Nidhi. I'm also coming from Georgia. And I've been involved in the Ecovillage Georgia since the beginning as well. Yeah, like as soon as I've heard about the concept, and then I tried to explore. So I lived, worked, and volunteered in many different eco-villages, mostly in Europe, and also some communities in Georgia. And yeah, I'm very excited to see so many people here, and also like be a part of like creating first eco-village in South Caucasus. So I guess I'm gonna pass it back to Anna. And thanks everybody for coming. This is nice.
Yeah, we also have supporting members here, but actually Iya also is part of our core group already. So maybe do you also want to shortly introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
nice to meet you, everyone. It's good to see that so many people are interested in the project. So I'm Iya. I'm from Georgia. It's been a while. We're part of the Ecovillage group with Samuel. At first, we were kind of working with other people, and then we met Anna and Nini and joined this group. So I did my master in tourism and cultural heritage. And nowadays I'm an individual entrepreneur. So I organize trips in Georgia, and I'm also working as a tour guide. And I'm with Samuel here.
Hi, I'm Samuel. Yeah, it's very nice to see so many people interested. That's true. I'm more an artist and a builder, I would say, a stonemason originally in France. So that's what I study because I'm coming from France. And I live here in Georgia since 7 years or so, something like this. And yeah. And you can.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. I know that Mika is also here, a very important member from the beginning. Mika, do you want to introduce yourself? Or maybe later. Linda is here, if I'm not mistaken.
Mika said his microphone doesn't work.
Ah, okay.
And I need to ask one question in Georgian, sorry. გამარჯობა, twins ახლა შემოგვიერთდით, თუ ქართული თარგმანი გჭირდება, შეგვიძლია უზრუნველყოთ. აი, ქალბატონი ლედი შემოგვიერთდა და ირაკლი. რას ფიქრობთ, თუ არა უშავს ინგლისურად გავაგრძელოთ?
გამარჯობა, არ მოგისმენთ ინგლისურად არ არის პრობლემა.
კარგით, და კითხების შემთხვევაში
არ არის პრობლემა.
კითხობს ქართულად დავსვათ, თუ მექნება კითხვა.
კი, აუცილებლად გადავთარგმნით. მადლობა. Yeah, sorry, but we can go on in English.
Thank you. Yeah, Linda.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm also very excited that so many people are joining this meeting. My name is Linda. I originally from Germany and I live in Georgia also. I don't know how many years, around 4, I guess, by now. And I live here with my Georgian partner and our child. And I joined the Ecovillage group when Jana is saying 1.5 years ago, probably 2.5 years ago. Is it possible? Or maybe 2? I don't know. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to really going on the hands-on part of this project and looking forward to it.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, and then we have Mika, who is very good in communication, and he's nomad, so he's on and off. And Pata is my husband. He's an organic farmer. He's not yet 100% convinced, but he will get convinced. Ozan from Turkey also wants to join us as soon as he can come. And yeah, Andy and Sofia are mother and daughter. They have a lovely child as well. They couldn't join us today. They are psychological consultants, yoga teachers. Yeah, and Andy is also supporting with social media. And they joined since our last meeting in summer. So we have had a lot of sessions to figure out what our...
Anna, sorry.
Mhm.
There is also the part of Mariam, our lawyer, who is giving us great support, and
Yes.
Lika is the bookkeeper who is dealing a lot with projects. So we should also just name them in our group.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
guess
Sorry,
it was...
I overread.
No, we are many
those.
people. I just wanted to edit that we also have the organization part of the group. So
yeah, and Lika is also part of our core groups, as long as Jana is, and yeah, she's very valuable member as well for financing. And yeah, we also have are in always need of lawyers. Yeah, so for our core values, we spent a lot of time figuring out, because if you want to live together, it's very important to be on the same page in terms of values. These are just words everyone can agree. I think, yeah, before moving in, we'll still need to have some sessions to define what exactly we mean by these words like love and tolerance, health, honesty, social justice. Yeah, and to be clear for ourselves what we mean and what does it mean in practice. But these are what we have identified so far. One of the main features of the Ecovillage will be a community house, a community center that really will be also physically kind of in the center, and a lot of learning activities are envisioned to take place there for children and adults. It will also be a social space where small-scale social businesses can take place, and retreats and courses and tool sharing. And we are thinking of an alternative school. Some of us have kids. And we can, yeah, host internal but also external happenings. So I think we are at the point that Jana is going to take over. We have been searching for the land also in parallel of doing all this visioning and defining our values. We have seen many lands. We have a list of criteria, but yeah, I'm going to hand over to Jana. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Anna. So I guess this is the part most of you don't know more details about. So this might be the part what is new for most of all visitors today. So I want to talk a little bit about the land we found and finally really started to get our interest from the first second because of its beauty, but also of all the fitting criteria. So before I introduce the land, I just give you a short introduction at what point we are standing right now. We are ready to settle, or first of all, we are ready to go for it and to buy the land, but also with the wish to settle as soon as possible and to start our process of creating. What comes next is for us to start the crowdfunding campaign, to get in touch with all of you, and also for potential future members who want to commit to go the next steps with us. But of course, we are also looking for some people who want to support our project from outside. So Nini will give you later an introduction and the economical opportunities. Yeah, and I think I can already give you a little tiny introduction about the place. The place is located in Lagodechi, or near Lagodechi, in Lagodechi municipality in Kakheti in Georgia. So it's around about 2 hours from Tbilisi. As you can see in the pictures, it's nearby the Caucasian Mountains. So it's kind of on the foot of the mountains, but still on a very nice ground. What has the plot we are interested in is around about 6.5 hectare, mainly of agricultural land, and it includes around about 1,000 square meter cattle farm building, what, as Anna told, might be an option for the future community center. So it's really giving a lot of opportunities to deal with it creatively, to build a cafe inside, to use it for seminar rooms. I don't know, we have a lot of ideas, but right now we focus on our on getting the land. So what can I say more about it? What fits a lot is the opportunity of having a really good working infrastructure. So if we compare it with other lands we visited, it has a really nice access. It is not difficult to reach. It has already a working road. It has everything what we need in the beginning, like electricity. The water system is working. Not only the drinking water, but also in the garden part or garden area is a good working irrigation system installed. So of course we have to regenerate it, but yeah, the land has some really nice opportunities what we can use to just bring it back into to cultivate it and to bring it back into life. The land part is not that far from the village, but is still very private, so it's not centered as well. But in like 2 minutes of way, you are coming to the main road, from where you can also go with Mashutka. The opportunity to go with Mashutka to Tbilisi is easy given. So the climate in this area around Lagodechi is kind of subtropical, so you find a lot of kiwi watermelon, a lot of herbs, different types of vegetables are growing as well. Time by time, you even find a banana tree. Grapes, of course, wheat. It's quite warm there in the summertime, but also from the mountains comes a lot of fresh air, so it's not really wet, but fresh. And it gives a great balance between dryness and humidity. Yeah, and what is interesting in the land spot as well is the high variety of different events. Like you find in the first picture, for example, an area what is full of nice nut trees and a lot of different kind of plants, fruits. But next to it, there is a small forest with what kind of trees? I'm sorry. No. Can anyone help me out?
There
Acacia?
are hazelnut trees.
Yeah,
There are
hazelnuts, but the
also
smaller forest.
some alucha.
Acacia. Yeah,
That
acacia
one is on the
trees.
other side. Yeah.
Yeah. The plot is surrounded by a little water channel, kind of river, what also is negotiating the water situation. Yeah, and it's nice to come back to come to the next slide, because there you can see a little bit easier the structure of the whole plot. So on the central picture, what is not in the best quality, but we tried our best. So it just gives a little bit frame about the spot. It's divided in three kind of areas. On the one hand, when you enter the spot, when you enter the land, there is a wide open space. You are close to the building. What, yeah, has the opportunity to really create a center out of it. It features a water reservoir as well, but mainly, yeah, a really nice and open space to create the community center. And behind the building, what gets a little bit more private, you have, for example, a nice space for the residential area, but also just to go for a bit in the nature. The building is an old cattle farm, as I told. It is partly sealed and isolated, but needs, of course, a little bit of renovation. It can potentially be refurnished to a community building and guest house, as told, but it is so big that we have a lot of opportunities to do different projects in it. When you go further ahead, more to the down part of the plot, in the more, I circled it, green area, it is the garden part and the nut and tree forest we already saw in the further pictures. This part of the land especially shows a huge variety in biodiversity. So as told, there is growing a lot of different types of green, and it is surrounded by the small forest area, as told, and is connected to the river part. The soil was fertilized only with ashes, so the Rish's owner gave us guarantee that it is really, has high quality and is really in a good situation. Yeah. On the opposite side, sorry?
I would add just it's like 20 minutes to walk till the Lago Deje reserved like mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, it's not that far from Lago Deje, but still a little bit on its own. It's not centered. But Georgi is right that it's on a very attractive position, like it is close to Lago Deje, what is also very interesting and beautiful.
I mean, Lago Deje reserved territories, like natural territory. Yeah, natural reserve. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Please feel free, everyone who already visited the land, to add some beautiful details, because as I guess you all hear, I'm kind of nervous to speak in in front of so many people, and I might miss some very interesting and important details. So everyone from the Ecovillage group who already visited the plot, please add whatever comes in your mind. Yeah. On the opposite of the building area, we have another forest part, what is really amazing and beautiful. And there's also the main part of the watery area in the land. So there is on one hand the river, but on the other there is a kind of artificial lake, what is seen in the I think we have seen it in the picture on the page before, but it is quite nice. It needs to get revitalized. So it might be accessible and usable for us, but right now it's yeah, it just needs a little help from our side. Anyone else want to say something about?
Well, I just have one thing to say is that to me, this land is the perfect balance and the perfect land, well, the best land possible for an eco-village. There is everything needed to start farming, to start doing everything, and not just in 3 years, but right now it's possible to start doing everything, and it's just ready, basically. All infrastructures are there, and yeah, just possible to start working on the place straight away, and that's the big plus for this land.
Thank you, Sam, for adding. This is also, or this was my impression as well when we have visited the land first time. And what is really amazing, that this is the feeling each of us from the group who have visited the land is getting. So it's not like it was never a decision or a struggle to decide for this land. It was, as I remember, for each member, a clear yes. So I might talk about it at the moment a little bit, yeah, like from the mind, but from the heart as well. It is really an amazing spot, and we are absolutely happy and excited that we found it. So maybe we can just switch to the next page and go on a land visit with the whole groups, because we luckily could add a little video into our presentation. So maybe, yeah, you just follow us for a short impression by yourself. If it works, yeah. So. Usually it also had some nice sounds, but I think we can't turn it on right now. But you can get an impression, like from the different parts of the land, and maybe also from the size as well.
Yeah, and it's really important that this water channel is like covers 2/3 of the perimeter of the whole land. Like it really goes around, so you can basically have the access to the water from any point for different purposes, like even for the pool, which is already almost done, like approximately 1.5 meters deep. So yeah, the water, electricity, and road, and the gas, and actually there are three renovated, but 3 rooms where people can already stay with like beds and with the heating and with stuff like that. So probably the owner was having the workers there to stay. So it's like, as Samuel mentioned, it's really easy to just kickstart it and to have a place to stay. Yeah, sorry. Thanks.
No, please, everyone who has been there. Yeah, I can add also that from the location, it really has a lot of opportunities. So of course, 6.5 hectares is a huge space, but even if we want to expand, there is a lot of open fields around. So we might have an opportunity if the eco-village is growing that big to expand, but it has a nice yeah, it is covered by the river part and by the forest parts, so that it is quite private. Maybe it's quite nice if everyone who has visited is giving some words to it. So I just want to invite. I think Nini has been there, and someone else.
Yeah, I can also quickly share. So as Diana mentioned, I think this was the one of the only lands we've been in our like lifetime of the Ecovillage where like we were all very excited, and that happened like really once in a while. So we all thought that that's the chance we need to use. So basically, as I mean, I think everything is like nearly mentioned, like what kind of perspective does this land have? And actually, like, let's say that price is not like the perfect what we would imagine, but what we realistically calculated is like the investigation normally what we need to put in some other lands, which we could buy per square meter for $1 or like approximately that price range. Here we pay more, but instead we have like really good access on the road, which is normally not so common with the big agricultural lands, what we were looking for before. Also, the water connection is really nice, and actually the owner already took care of making the irrigation lines, and they're even not only lines, but the channel, like which can be used later for the as a swales for the permaculture garden. And there are already quite some trees, like for the even like for the next season, we will already have some harvest of hazelnuts and some alucha and some tremali and this kind of stuff. And of course, like the nature around that, you also have this rural part of like wild, you know, this acacia forest with this like small river going through it, which is don't need to be too close to the residential area. I think that's like gives this good package of, yeah, like having a nice land. And also land prices are going high and high, so we need to buy the land as soon as possible. I can pass it to Georgi if you want to add anything.
No, I think there's nothing really to add. And yeah, it's really true that to compare the previous lands we visited, we were calculating like almost like 30 to 50,000 euros only for bringing the road, not to mention there were no buildings and such. So yeah, like to calculate how much it costs today to have a building like 1,000 square meters and the road nearby and the fence and even the land is fenced in the middle, so it's separated from the agricultural part where all the hazelnut and forests are and the residential part. So it's really huge amount of work is done, which is hardly like it can be calculated in the like money, but yeah, it's totally huge amount of money to calculate it in times. So it would take us like a couple of years just to arrange those things. So it's like huge plus for it. And yeah, it's like perfect humidity and perfect altitude from the seaside. And I mean, even from touristical point of view, it's really amazing for people going to, I don't know, Vashlovani reserved places or to Lagodehi reserved forest. So it's like really good location. Yeah, I see huge pluses around there. I couldn't really add more. It become bragging. So I'll just pass the to who's there. Yeah.
There's a question, what's the state of the building? Well, you can maybe...
Well, the condition of the building, there is definitely some work to be done on it. Roof need to be fixed at some place.
Well, it's better if it's changed, actually.
Yeah, it's better if it's changed, but at least fixed in a first step, and then see over time what need to be done. But I think it will be part by part on the building, because we cannot fix everything at once. 1,000 square meters is a huge area to fix.
And also the other two buildings. So in the entrance, they're like tiny, small houses. It's like the Sadaraja house, like guardians' houses or something. But they are in a better condition, right, Samuel, than the farm itself?
I don't know if they are in a better
Well,
condition, but it's not a lot of work to actually start to live there, because it's just to install proper floor, proper walls. I mean, basically it's like what Georgian call shavi karkasi, so black frame building, and yeah, the barn is a bit more work than a shavi karkasi, but those small buildings are shavi karkasi.
Yeah, I mean, because it's so big also, it's 1,000 square meters, so of course it will need more time, but
Yes.
Otherwise the building is strong.
The building is strongly made. It's a good carpentry. There won't be any work on the foundation to do, or on the carpentry. Maybe to changing the roof, but the tiling, but not not huge work. After, there will be a bit of cleaning up the building, because right now the cows are in the building, and of course it doesn't smell necessarily good for everyone. So, but it's just small details to fix to be able actually to do something. And there is the part where the hay is stored right now, which actually smell good and is quite clean, and I think that's gonna be a better option for part of the building to start doing something there.
Before I pass to Nini about the economical part, I would like to invite and to motivate each of you who got interested to get a real impression of the land to visit the place by yourself. So what we are going to do, we are planning to organize some group land visits, mainly on the 1st October weekend, so not tomorrow, but in the week after. But for the ones who can't manage to visit on the weekends, there is an option to go next Thursday on the 3rd October as well. So yeah, if there is any interest, please just give us a note, and we are happy to go together and to get some real impressions at the place. So yeah, that's all from my side. I would pass it to Nini if she's back.
Thank you, Yana, and everybody. I'm gonna try to be quick. Yeah, so when we have been thinking a lot about the economical part and the structure, and also the legal part, and I'm gonna try to explain it, because this is also not so easy to manage with all this like given situation, and based on what kind of system and structure we want to propose. So basically, as far as you know, the land price is $150,000. Right? Did I say it correctly? So the let's say that like the best way would be that, okay, we have like 30 residents, and each resident puts like 500 USD. This is like first contribution which means that they come and being shareholders of
5,000.
whatever 5,000. Sorry, yeah, not 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 USD, and that means that you are having a share and you have a right on the land. And now I'm going to explain what we mean under it. So we want to, as far as you know, there is 6.5 hectares. So we are thinking around 1 hectare, 1.5 hectares to transfer into non-agricultural status of the land, and then split this amount of hectares, which is 1.5 again, into equally into residents. So in general, we are aiming to have like around 30 households, but it doesn't mean that it's like only 30 shareholders. It can be 60 shareholders, but it can, and even more. But the household, we think not more than 30 families. So in 5 years or whatever, when we're more stable, when we have our own economy runs, we don't imagine like really huge, but of course, this is something we can discuss slowly, but this is somehow how we imagine right now. So 30 households and having 1.5 hectares to non-agricultural status. And that's why we ask the residents to contribute for 5,000 USD. And this is money we all need together at least until the end of November. So just to give you like very precise and clear details, we are making a prepayment already in 4th of October to the landowners, and making an agreement that he's not going to sell this land until the end of November. And we just have this amount, so 1.5 months, let's say, up to 2 months to gather all this money, which is 150,000, whatever it is. Yes, so that's where we are in. This is very important. That's why we are super happy if somebody is interested and would like to be as a resident, or there are any other options also to contribute differently for the Ecovillage Georgia. Yes, so as I said, contributing this amount of money, it gives you a right to build your own house, and everybody will have the equal amount of land. We're thinking up to 500 square meter, but this is something we need to go through again with Samuel and also other people, the architectural side. And that means that you can build your own house based on the regulations what our legal entity is going to provide. So you can't just come and build a block house or, you know, whatever. We're going to have a regulations. We don't have this right now, but we're going to work on the regulations, how it's going to be managed, the infrastructure, the sewage system, and so on. And we as an eco-village right now can't really provide any jobs or something. I mean, of course, we can help out each other to build each other's houses and start even small LTDs together or cooperatives inside to start a small businesses. But we can't say that as soon as you move to the eco-village, you'll have like income. That's why we encourage people to come with their projects. So if person comes and they buy the residential share and they also have a business plan, like ecological friendly, of course, the business plan, then we would consider to cooperate, because then that business could also employ the locals, not only eco-villagers, but people from Ninigori and so on. I think we can move to the next slide. I don't know. Yeah. And basically, this is one part. So when you're entering with a 5,000 share, and the other part is like, if you want to leave, you need to make a notice to our legal entity. And from 6 months to 1 year, you will have it refunded. But normally, this is a procedure which needs to go through some cooperation. So basically, you together with the Ecovillage legal entity need to find a person who's going to replace you, because that's how we want to generate the income, basically, the budget of the legal entity. So we can't just like allow everybody to leave at the same time, right? So we need to have some kind of security. When somebody leaves, somebody else needs to enter. And we think to have it like 3-month probation period for that. This is like when we already have a land and you can come and stay and live there. We also plan to build a co-housing system. But right now we would like to have a membership, and I'm going to talk about membership a bit later. So how you want to enter, this is going to be a form, and then small interview and land visit and so on, other procedures. We can move to the next slide. Yeah. Yeah, so this is like one part what I talked about, the residents. The other part is like if you would like to support, you don't want to live there, but you want to contribute for the project. We are thinking of two types of different loans. Basically, one is like more supporting loan and one is like investment. Investment means that if you are giving us some time, lending us some money basically, and then giving us some time, you can get your money back in like with the benefit of how is it called in, I don't know, like this 2 to 3%
Interest.
yeah, with the interest rate. Thank you. With the interest rate. But if you we are still thinking about another loaning system. We had another call with consultation call yesterday, and the idea is like to have also smaller lendings, like small smaller lending system when you actually give us 500, for example, and we'll have some rotation system that if you want this 500 USD back, we need to find somebody else. So there is like constantly some money running. Did I explain it like does it make sense more or less?
So
Anybody wants to-
people get they buy in and they get their money back as soon as someone else is joining, either as a resident or as another lender. Because in the end, we want to have the 150,000 through shares of residents. It should be owned by the residents, the land. And then who came in first can get money back first, for example. But we are still working on this system, and yeah, together with the new residents. And it's also, of course, always possible to negotiate individually.
And also one more thing, just to let you know, to insecure your money, the system, what we plan is that we might have, for example, now 10 residents, and the rest of the money we're gonna collect will be the lending from like the bigger loans basically, or like smaller loans. But the way we want to repay this is to invite more residents as soon as we have a land, and like see how it's going to work with like our co-living and how we align to each other. And as soon as the new residents are going to pay their shares, we're going to start repaying our loans. So this is the system what we thought about. But of course, like in the future, we can also, we need to develop this economical system. Of course, we are going through some consultations also with lawyers, and yeah, it's a lot of work, to be honest. It's a crazy amount of work. But if we want to make it like with the crowdfunding and also be open to people, we need to go through it. And here we say also, yeah, and there's a donation. So donation is like something super simple. We can right now even provide an account. And if you feel like donating $1, whatever fits for you or whatever is comfortable, however you feel, you can just transfer this money. And we're going to mostly use this money right now for like to, how is Gadmapolmeba? Basically to register this land on our name, because we should have said that like this land has 7 different cadastral codes because of whatever, it doesn't matter. But for each registration, we need like up to 200 lari, and we try also to collect like the smaller amounts of money, just, you know, up to 1,000 lari we might need just to transfer all this land to on our legal entity. And just to briefly say here, we are still working on we were fixed on the cooperative, but there are many changes in the law right now. And cooperative we chose because it's way more equal and horizontal in decision making. But now apparently in Georgian law, and also in a part of the bureaucracy and the accounting is like super difficult, and like there are no even I could not find any professionals who knows anything about cooperative and how does it work in Georgia, and this is very complicated. So we are thinking maybe to have the LTD or the joint stock company. We don't have a final answer, but we're going to have 2 more consultations with the lawyers next week, and we're going to decide And yeah, just to make it really clear, otherwise lots of people might lend money, lots of people might want to join as residents, so we need to be very clear, and we're working on it. And of course, if you have some experiences in architecture, or if you're a lawyer, yeah, please work with us. We're a very good group, and we need it. Yes. I can't see really well if I miss anything. Yeah, and also like voluntary work. I mean, as far as you know, all of the work we do is like voluntary. None of us get paid or anything. We are doing with our motivation, but we have a financial system how we want to reimburse ourselves. If somebody will be interested, I can talk more. But if you feel like you have expertise in something, you would like to help. Some people wrote us on Facebook, oh, I know some, architecture, I have some architectural experience and so on. Yeah, please get in touch, and we can have a call or meet and figure out how we can collaborate. Yeah, so right now, as I said, the part is that we are making a B contract next week, and then we need to repay $145,000. Now we are making the prepayment, so-called in Georgian B, of $5,000. We also want to split this money equally and pay this equally, whoever will be, and yeah, make like really good fundraising, and also ask people who can support or lend us money or being a resident, so we can collect and repay and buy the land of Ecovillage Georgia. I think I'm finished.
Yes,
there is also account number.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, and also if anyone has experience in fundraising or would like to get into it, like, you don't need to be an expert, and we're always happy for people to join our group.